So we got here pretty early at Bays Bay Reserve, which is in Rhodes in New South Wales. There should be a large number of Italian cars at this event. This is also the first time the grounds have been used for Concorso di Eleganza. The venue was cozy, but we've managed to fit 9 X19s. New merchandise was available on the day, but if you missed out, you can still buy it online at x19.com.au, but stock is limited. The weather was great and I got to meet lots of X19 enthusiasts. But let's get back to business. So back at the garage, I put the car on the hoist and underneath was of course full of oil once again. I decided to change the oil in the car because I'm going to replace the oil filter. I'm going to check the rubber on the filter to make sure it's not broken, and looking up here you can see oil under the distributor. I'm going to be using a Technicar R75, which is actually made for the X19. This is new old stock. You can see the size difference between the modern one and the old one. And as for the rubber on the one I took out, it looks fine. So now to refill it, and I greased up the rubber as well. It really looks too big to fit, but it actually fits quite well. And again, I'm using the Penrite running in oil. I've only managed to get 450 kilometers on the clock. So I'm back at this bush again. It's now bulged out, where the other one looks fine. I've already replaced this before, but this time it's not soft, it's just in the wrong position and it's kind of slipped out. The sway bar is putting pressure on the rod, making it hard to get the bush out. By removing those 2 bolts, I could release the bush. You can see it kind of went sideways. I do have a spare here, and worst case I'll go back to the rubber one, and lubricating with a polyurethane friendly grease. You can see when I slip this on, it's sitting quite high. The sway bar needs significant force to pull it down to get it in position. I can see it's in the right position, so I'm going to tighten it up and then torque everything in place. Driving back from the Concorso, I felt like something was wrong with the brakes. They worked fine, but the more I used the pedal, the further it would go down. I've detached the steering column and popped off the hose to the front brakes and pulling it forward to drain the oil. Taking the hose out, you can see there is a big bend in it, and that's definitely going to stop oil getting through from the reservoir to the brake master cylinder. So now to remove the grills for better access and then take out the brake reservoir. I also took out the clutch reservoir for better access. I'm replacing the hose with a new one, attaching it and then cleaning up all the oil that was spilt. Then to feed the rest of the hose through, back to the reservoir and then cut it to size. Now to attach the hose, put the bracket on and then screwing it in place. It's a lot easier with the clutch reservoir out of the way. And now to reattach the low reservoir warning indicators. I have 2. When you turn the reservoir over, you can see there's a line that goes all the way through the middle. That's because there's actually 2 chambers. And if you look inside, you can see the baffle in the way. So the reservoir fills up the front brakes first and then comes across to the back. I'm just going to keep filling the reservoir until I see a shadow appear on the right side like that. With the pedal box back in place and the steering column now attached, I'm raising the car to bleed the brakes and just cleaning off any excess oil. This 3D printed cover fits better than the factory one. You can see it's on the wrong side for the hoses. If you want one, it's simple, just go to x19.com.au and download and print your own. You can see it fits really well. This is from the door handle inside, and I've got a bit of chrome tape over this one. I'm going to try this chrome pen and see what it looks like instead. So that did not work out very well. The one on the right is the painted one and the left is the sticker. Both are not particularly good. I happened to stumble across a brand new set on Midwest Bayless website. So that was a lot less trouble and a lot better looking. But next time, I go for a drive, I change an emblem, and I find the oil leak.